You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, let's talk about the Browns. I can't believe we're even having this conversation. I can't believe that this video even has to be made. But boy, there's a lot of fire burning out there right now. A lot of fire burning. And it's burning for Deshaun Watson. You may be thinking, is that fire burning gonorrhea? I get it. I understand why you would ask that. But yeah, that's right. Late night sneaky uncle himself, Chester the molester, is entered the quarterback conversation for 2026 for the Cleveland Browns. And fans are crashing out. I don't blame them. I said, look, I would take 14 Shedeur Sanders before I'd ever want to see Deshaun Watson. I'm not a Browns fan. As a fellow NFL fan, I don't want to see Deshaun Watson back on the field at all. But I will say this. Do I think that Todd Monken actually thinks he might be able to make Deshaun Watson a good quarterback again? Yeah, I kind of do think that he believes that. You know, I mean, I actually think Todd Monken's offense is going to surprise some folks. I do. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not, resubscribe to the channel. Deshaun Watson dropped another workout video, and we'll get to all kinds of other things. Oh, here we are. Okay. So, one drop back. That's what we're doing. One lonely-ass drop back. Okay. From maybe the worst quarterback evaluator I've ever even heard of in Quincy Avery. Yeah. Some of the things I've heard come out of that dude's mouth on Ryan Russillo's podcast is baffling. Baffling. So, here we go. I mean, Tony Rizzo today. I got to admit, folks, that Tony Rizzo show is so entertaining. It really is. And him and I don't agree on probably anything. Well, some things, but nonetheless, he himself and his crew put on a great show. He asked a very interesting question on his show today about Deshaun Watson.
One of the must-do things is to give Shedeur a chance, a real chance. I want him with the ones from the OTAs all the way through training camp. And let's see what he's got. If he's not good enough, I'll be the first one to admit it. I don't believe that. I think the kid can play.
I'm not sure you're going to get it.
Okay, here's my point. Chris, let's say Deshaun Watson balls out, and you have to start him. Let's say he starts 5-2. Who knows what happens? Let's say he gets on the field and wins 4 games in a row. What if he gets on the field and wins 9 games out of 12 that he plays? In other words, no one's considering the scenario where he's good. What if he's good? You going to let him walk? You let him walk out the door and we're still paying him?
Okay. He brought up a very interesting scenario. What if he comes out and has a Sam Darnold kind of year? Or a Geno Smith kind of comeback year from 4 years ago? Cleveland fans, you want them to re-sign Deshaun Watson? Like, I wouldn't want to put myself in that position. I wouldn't. Because you got a section of fans that, NFL fans, NFL and Cleveland fans, that never wanted this dude on the field to begin with. Not only that, but he's forever tied with the dumbass decision to get rid of Baker on top of it. Never mind the 27, 28 lawsuits, whatever it was. Tony Grossi, the landondemand.com, Grossi's website, was asked, does Deshaun Watson see the field in the regular season? If healthy, I would say yes. They're paying him $46 million for the 5th and last year. Why wouldn't they try to get at least some return on that lost investment? If not at the beginning, then certainly at some point. The Browns usually go through 3+ quarterbacks a year. Sadly, that's right. I mean, that's correct. I mean, God, could you really? Do you want them to turn around and give him another $30 million or put him on the franchise tag? Guys, you can't be that desperate to win. I understand. Look, Shedeur Sanders got all kinds of flaws. All kinds. He does. But he also flashed. And for all the shit people like to talk about Shedeur Sanders' character, nah. He ain't got the kind of character Deshaun Watson's got. Let's make sure we keep a good, clear line between those two. Like I said, I'm rooting for the kid. Deshaun Watson, he can go play in the CFL for all I care. Seriously. Here we go.
First of all, the market's not great. Malik Willis is probably the star of the market, and I think he can be good. I'm not sold on him as being a star in the league, or who knows at this point. He's had a few years and hasn't had that chance. I was always really high. I hate the Deshaun Watson trade and the contract, but I was always high on him as a talent. It's been a long time for him. And I think he's clearly not the long-term solution in Cleveland. So I think you need to find that long-term quarterback. If I were them, I would give Shedeur Sanders a season. Let's get him ready all summer. Give him a shot. I think, I thought he had good moments. I thought he looked a lot like a rookie quarterback. We've seen,
Okay. I think the point is, you really going to take reps away from Shedeur for Deshaun Watson? I mean, God. Mary Kay Cabot on the Ken Carman Show.
What is the percent chance that Deshaun Watson is the week 1 starter for our Cleveland Browns?
No, that's a good question. I don't know if I can put an exact percentage on it, but I would say right now the chances are probably somewhere around 40%. I think the thing to remember here with both Todd Monken and Andrew Berry is that they have both said that they are open to bringing in a quarterback from the outside. So we don't really know yet what's going to happen in the draft, free agency, a trade. But right at the moment, he's right in the thick of it with, I would say it would be Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson competing for that starting job right now. And then we'll see whoever else comes on board.
As much as some Browns fans want to see Malik Willis, I don't think it'll happen. I think just the handcuffs of Deshaun Watson's contract is going to prevent you from getting a guy like him, I believe. Could they trade for a guy like Mac Jones? Sure. Do I love Mac Jones in Cleveland? No. I'd love him better in a place like Minnesota. Hell, I think Mac Jones could win 12 games in Minnesota. To be quite honest, if he was the Niners, look, I'm a Niners fan. He could start for the Niners and win 12 games next year. But, I mean, Mac needs the quarterback guru guy, Sean McVay. He could win a frick ton of games with the Rams. Those kind of guys, all right? I'd be interested to see what Mac Jones could do for the Texans. Yeah, I said that. I mean, you sold on C.J. Stroud still? The Carolina Panthers? That would be interesting for Mac Jones. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. A 40% chance of Deshaun Watson? I'd rather see a 40% chance of tornadoes, and I am in Tornado Alley. I have literally had to get in too many storm cellars over the years. I've gotten in them jokers and there'd be a copperhead in there before. I'd still rather get in there than watch Deshaun Watson play football. Wow. I do think Tony Groshy's right, and I've said this before myself. I said it the day that Todd Monken got hired. I think Snoop Huntley is almost like a given for the Cleveland Browns. I'm also not sold on the fact that he couldn't actually win that job if he got the chance. too. So I'm just putting that out there. So if you're an NFL fan or if you're a Browns fan, I want to see in the comment section, I'm here to tell you, we could have just come on here and just read the comments under the Tony Rizzo, Deshaun Watson, what if? And I mean, you want to talk about fans. Hey, maybe the Shedeur Sanders thing is not a race issue because they hate them some Deshaun Watson. I mean, hey, me and Shedeur fans, we're united. We're on a united front when it comes to Deshaun Watson. I'm keeping it real. Wow. God, don't do that. Anyway, you tell me in the comment section, do you want to see Chester the Molester back on the field? Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.